Then I gotta show you Japan.
Building.
Okay, for Japan, they use nanocore technology. This is a generator core. And you have to expand. The strength is, you could go anywhere, you could expand anywhere, and expand anywhere on the base. Make sure I said this so you can understand. And, they're flexible, but they could get killed before they even deploy, which is the weakness. But overall, it's a strength. And by the way, sometimes I bring them up to the oil, so I can't get shot. Like I can't get blown up because the dogs and bears kill Japan's infantry unit, and they kill the engineers easily. So if you bring them right there, you could see if there's a bear or a dog coming, and just make a burst drone and not even get your engineer killed. I'm gonna make 2 power plants so I don't go low power after I make my my Mecha Bay core.
Construction complete. New construction.
Should I make a spy drone usually first?
Construction complete. Building. Burst drones are flying robotic scouts used to survey enemy troop movements. They may attach themselves to enemy vehicles, slowing the enemy down. Burst drones may also self-destruct, damaging nearby targets.
Okay, and about them, they could latch on to miners and stuff, but the self-destruct really isn't that good. I mean, compared to like, you better off making Mecha Tangos instead of burst drones because they're not that good.
Have you any idea what my allied squadrons are capable of? I think not. Anyway, you won't have to ponder for too long.
Hit your victory very soon.
Enemy building captured. Training.
And even if you make a self-destruct upgrade, they're still not that good overall. These burst drones, so just make Mecha Tangos and just use these guys for scouting. Unless you figure out some way of using them that's better.
Honorable discharge upgrade authorized. Building.
Your humble servant.
Engineers can instantly capture neutral or enemy structures, either on land or at sea. They may also repair damaged structures. Their special ability is to sprint. After this brief burst of energy, they run out of breath and have to take a moment to recover.
Do you need something?
I'll take you to the enemy's doorstep.
Just run in there.
Enemy building captured.
Run in there before the dog or the bear gets you or anything else that could kill you.
Building.
I am but a humble guy.
Sudden transports may disguise themselves as other vehicles to sneak Imperial infantry behind enemy lines. Because they hover, they can cross land or sea equally as well. Though unarmed with conventional weapons, sudden transports are rigged to explode if destroyed.
So basically, they're just infantry transporters, and they could disguise so you enemy might not notice them. And this is like the main unit, the Mecha Tango, so first tier. Oh yeah, by the way, how Japan expands. See how I don't have to make a Sputnik or a miner to expand. They're called prospectors in this game, or prospector. I could just make a nanocore, get there, and go wherever I want real quick. And that's the advantage of Japan. Core technology.
Looking for some fun!
The Mecha Tengu are versatile fast attack skirmishers whose twin autocannons are particularly deadly against infantry. There is no terrain they cannot cross. Their special ability is to transform into the Jet Tengu, a flying form effective against aircraft.
So basically these guys are air, water, or sea. They float right over the water, they go on the ground. They're the most versatile thing in the game, but they're not as strong as the second tier and the third tier units. They can't put up a fight against like say like hammer tanks, for example. They would lose, but they're like weaker and you could outnumber them though, and they would basically abuse like anything else. And by the way, they could abuse anything in numbers. If they outnumber them, they're hard to stop, they're fast, they could retreat easily, they could blow up ore collectors easily. I could go on and on. They're anti-air, you could just you could air to air. They're not as strong as Apollos or Meeks, but you could outnumber them 2-1 and you got them. And then you could just turn right back into a tank-like unit, and just kill everything on the ground. Japan is really a strong army, okay? And I'm gonna upgrade to show you some of
New construction options.
these guys. I'll show you the ore collector first.
Ore collectors are amphibious resource-gathering vehicles that travel between ore mines and ore refineries. They must be protected at all times. They can bring up a rapid-fire weapon to defend themselves as needed, although they cannot gather ore while the security system is activated.
And the difference is between the Soviets just going to recruit more, and these guys could actually attack. So which one's better? I mean, they're both good. I mean, but I don't really have a preference because I like these guys. They could stop infantry rushes and stuff. Just put them into gun mode and start firing. But the Soviets, the defense capability, they has very, very high defense. It's like 4 times the defense when they're in defense mode. So that barracks is about to die. So I'm going to just sell it and make another one. And by the way, if you sell something that's not full health, it only gives you like a fraction of what it's worth. Samurais, Imperial Warriors.
Imperial warriors fight using burst-firing rifles specially made to take down other infantry. Their special ability gives them a window of opportunity to rush enemy infantry with beam katanas at the ready. One stroke from these blades is lethal.
The katanas, I thought they were samurai swords.
Unit lost. Building.
Report.
Striker VXs are dual-form pilot-assisted robots designed to destroy enemy aircraft with their guided rockets, but that is not all. Their special ability is to transform into the Flying Chopper VX form, which is effective against armored targets on the ground. Nothing is safe from these units.
Yeah, and these guys are a bit ridiculously strong. They're just like the Mecha Tengus, but the difference is Mecha Tengus are air to air, ground to ground. These are ground to air or air to ground. They're basically like a complement to the Mecha Tango. They fill in.
Striker VXs are
They do what Mecha Tangus can do, which is air to ground basically, and then the air defense. And the thing is, the air defense of Japan overall is a weakness. They're not as strong as Japan has a weakness of air defense. They have trouble against allies in some situations. And by the way, this thing, I don't know if it's not going to explain it. It's either you could either switch from air mode or ground mode for the Defender Corps. And then so if they're doing a Vindicators coming at you, got to do it in air mode obviously. And if like a tank's coming at you, you gotta make it go to ground mode.
Construction complete. Low power.
I paid attention, it's not easy, I'm not too worried.
They have nothing.
Lost. Our base is under attack. Building. The collector is under attack. Building.
And sometimes if you go in the water quick, they won't even see you the whole entire game, and you got 3 money collectors, and they only think you have 2 a lot of times, or 1 less than what they expected.
The collector is under attack.
There is honor in death.
And by the way, you could make them go you could build power plants in the water with any team. And this is the upgrades. You could either do the kamikazes, find a squadron. These guys sleep at ambush is like the best one on this side. It gives you like 5 anti-tank busters, like anti-tank units, and a fortified fleet navy upgrade. But I always choose either this one or this one. Usually not the one in the middle. And point defense drones, it starts to get a little. Oh, sorry. It starts to get a little ridiculous with these with all these shields and stuff. You got this. You got Empire's Rage. Japan, they're probably the most feared army in the game. I'm gonna make a navy, and I'm not gonna attack. By the way, go to anti-air
The
mode.
order is heard. Quell this intrusion.
And Dox Core, you have to upgrade the Dox Core individually. You don't need a battle lab, and you don't need to do the way that the allies do it. It's a different way.
A unit is under
You upgrade the
attack.
War Factory similar to how you upgrade the Navy Yard.
Report.
Upgrade complete.
Got it covered.
New construction options.
Don't hesitate. Now.
Our construction yard is under attack. Building. Construction complete. New construction options. Building. Building.
And this is like a tower core. It's the same thing as a defender core, but it could only, I think it could only fire at the ground. I never seen it fire at the air.
A unit is under attack.
But it could kill higher tier units and more advanced units. It could kill stronger units. And a lot of the times I put the burst run in the water in the place where you can see the base, but it doesn't get blown up. Close enough that you can see them, but far away enough that they won't be able to see a burst drone.
Construction complete. The King Oni are the Emperor's heaviest ground forces. These battle walkers can incinerate foes with their eye blasters. Their special ability is the Bull Rush, which they use to close the distance with enemies, or more often, to smash right into them and destroy them.
And these guys are the more ridiculously strong units. They're like the Apocalypse tank for Soviet, and Allies doesn't have high armored unit like this. So these are the most strongest thing on the land. I'm just showing you the units I'm not gonna like use in this game because I gotta show you get through all these units. Okay, I'll do it once, just on these infantry. You could just walk over these guys. You don't even need to use it, and you can smash into buildings and all that.
Tank busters are specially trained and outfitted to take on enemy armor. Their personal plasma cutter cannons can punch through a battle tank quickly. Their special ability is to dive into a spider hole, which boosts their defense and prevents them from being crushed by vehicles. They can pop up to resume firing.
And this is one of another unit that you could be as creative as you could think of with them. You could pop in and out of holes, do all kinds of, tactics. When this tank starts driving away, they think they're just gonna avoid. You just pop back on and start firing them from the back, whatever.
Upgrade complete.
And this guy is kind of like
Point defense.
Japan's equivalent of the Athena cannon. But I think the Athena cannon is better. But I haven't used this guy like enough to like really like totally know everything it could do. But I mean, I don't, I'm not like a super experienced player at this game. But in my opinion, I think Athena's better. But I'll just show you the unit.
Wave Force artillery are mobile bombardment vehicles that fire energy salvos rather than basic ballistic warheads. Their attack is extremely powerful, though the firing sequence is slow. However, their special ability lets them fire immediately at the expense of some attack strength.
Just like it said, what it is. And they're very strong, but they're slow. You can see them coming, and you can see them charging up before they even fire at you. But if they do fire, they could do a lot of damage, and weak against like air attacks. You could just blow them up with the twin blade for Soviet or Vindicator or whatever for allies. And by the way, you can use shield on
Select target.
you can't use shield.
Select target. A unit is under attack.
You can't use shield on Navy. I thought you could.
Yari mini-subs are undersea scouts armed with tiny torpedoes effective against enemy naval forces. These units must surface to fire, but are invulnerable to most attacks undersea. Their special ability causes them to self-destruct into their targets.
They basically kamikaze into the targets. Just press this button and right click it, and then you gotta click on a building or a unit.
On hold. Cancel. Building. Building. Training. Cannot deploy unit. Unit lost.
I'm gonna make some more power plants so I can.
Belongs to the Empire. My await your command.
Shinobi are expert infiltrator assassins. Their bladed weapons are lethal to infantry, and they can traverse land and sea with equal ease. Their special ability is a smoke bomb which causes enemies to lose the shinobi as a target. If a shinobi gets inside an enemy structure, he will disrupt the enemy in various ways depending on the structure.
It doesn't explain everything they could do. They could do more than what they just explained. But these guys, they could steal money. They could just go right into the ore refineries and take the money. And good anti-infantry. A lot of people, they do infantry, all types of infantry rushes to Japan. You could make these guys and just you know, kill all the infantry rushes and stuff.
How's it going up there? Seaweed checking in.
Sea Wings combine the functions of an anti-aircraft submarine with a close air support aircraft. They must surface to attack in Sea Wing form, whereas in Sky Wing form, these units may attack relentlessly against ground or sea targets.
Again, another awesome unit. The awesome unit. You could make a whole bunch of them and go onto land and just kill everything. I can say a lot about them, but I'm just gonna say they're a good unit.
How's it going up there?
They're strong against air, but not as strong as a Hydrofire or a Bullfrog overall. But they're more versatile and they could do more stuff than those units can. And they're better overall, even though the anti-air is a little bit weaker than the Allies' counterpart.
Naginata cruisers are specially made to destroy enemy ships in a hail of torpedoes. Their special ability launches a spread of auxiliary torpedoes from hidden launch bays. This attack takes considerable time to rearm.
Just like Soviets or Russia's, they have a torpedo, but this one does like a spread attack, like that, like 5 instead of just 1. Now, I'm not even gonna show you the decimator course, just like I might if I have enough time.
Under attack. Building.
You gotta make a lot of air. That's Japan's weakness, is air defense.
Nice and cool.
By the way, you could let's go all the way up.
Command.
I could put this guy right here. He's making navy.
Yes, all systems green.
Our construction yard is under attack. Our base is under attack.
The day of the Shogun has arrived.
This is the strongest ship in the game, I believe. To my knowledge, I think it's the best. You can't really block him, and the lasers just go through anything.
Shogun battleships are the finest vessels in the Imperial fleet. Nothing can stand up to a barrage from their 6 main guns. Their special ability provides a temporary burst of speed, allowing these ships to crash straight through other vessels.
Ramming attack, that's crazy. They're probably the strongest ship of any army in the game, but they don't have air defense, they need to be supported. And if you make submarines, like if you make like regular submarines like destroyers or Akulas, they're gonna need a little bit of help against them. But overall, they destroy everything on land easily. I got through all these. Oh yeah, and you can make tsunami tanks in the water too. Oh, just 2 more I gotta show.
Training. Enemy base detected.
I'll make a tower core for the hell.
Building.
The tsunami rises.
Insufficient funds.
Let's go.
Repairing. A
So
unit is under attack.
Switch to anti-surface mode, kill him.
Rocket Angels are flying women warriors armed with photon rocket arrays, which are effective against armored targets both on the ground and in the air. They may switch to using an energized paralysis whip, which stops a single target from moving or attacking.
Similar to the weapon jammer for the Hydrofoil, it seems. Okay, 1 more unit, I'm done, I think. Okay, now I just gotta make a Yuriko. I already have her.
My name is Yuriko.
I'm gonna actually attack her for
See
fun.
me yet. Anywhere but here.
Tower core.
They don't know what it's like.
Yuriko Omega is our most powerful infantry unit. She has been trained to use her mind as a weapon, and her mind can destroy almost anything. She may pursue her enemies either on land or at sea. Should she be outnumbered, she can send her foes flying using her Psychokinetic Burst special ability.
And if you haven't been in, and if that didn't make a statement of how strong she was, she's basically the strongest thing in the game, and she's probably the strongest unit in like almost any game I ever played. If she goes elite, she's basically done.